Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Nikola Motors. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So today's video is going to be about Nikola Motors. And if you guys don't know, Nikola Motors has been under a lot of heat lately. But before we get into that, just taking a look at the 5-year chart, this company did IPO June 3rd, 2020. Basically a new company, and it did merge, basically did a merger with VTech on June 3rd and basically had a run up all the way to about $79 to $100, and it's kind of been on the decrease ever since. Within recent, Hindenburg Research basically published a report saying that Nikola Motors was basically a fraud company. It was overstating its technical prowess and misleading investors. Now, you have to take in consideration, guys, that whether the report is true or not, you have to understand that these people are short sellers, or this person is a short seller on the actual stock itself. So they're going to do anything or what it takes to drive the price down. If you guys don't know what Nikola Motors does, it basically produces hydrogen fuel cell, large semi-trucks, basically trying to compete with Tesla. It came out, Trevor Milton, the CEO of the company, basically was talking up the company a lot, saying it's going to be the next Tesla, it's going to be the next big thing. Trevor Milton has a big mouth. I'm not going to say he doesn't, because he's put the company in kind of a predicament because, you know, to a certain extent, he kind of did overstate the prowess. He misled investors into letting people know that, okay, we have a truck coming this year and stuff like that. But in reality, the company is a big company, but they've never sold anything and they don't have a running factory and stuff like that. Kind of making people wonder if Nikola Motors in the first place was worth the investment. Within recent as well, General Motors took an 11% stake in Nikola Motors, basically saying it's going to help produce the Badger, and they're expecting that by 2022. A lot of people say GM is dumb. Me personally, I don't think GM, they're not stupid. They're a huge company. They've been in the game for a long time. I do think that General Motors does know what they're doing. Them taking 11% stake in Nikola Motors in itself, a lot of people were saying it's very risky. And at this point, it is pretty risky, but so are investments in general. If you take a look at a lot of stocks out there, a lot of companies lose money on stocks in itself. But the biggest piece of news that dropped today on Nikola Motors is the Justice Department. It's probing basically Nikola Motors because it says that it misled investors. So basically it's going to get, investigated by the Justice Department. That's obviously never good for the brand of the stock. It's obviously not good for the overall name of Nikola Motors. You don't want to be just probed with investigations because, it's not looking good for the company. It makes investors scared, and it makes a lot of people want to sell the stock in itself. Basically, the Department of Justice is basically saying the same thing that the Hindenburg Research report said, that it was overstating its technical prowess and that it misled investors into thinking that the company had so much done, but in reality, it had nothing done. And then published a YouTube video of Nikola Motors saying that it had a running truck, when in reality it was being pushed down a hill. And that obviously doesn't look good either. So Nikola is under a lot of heat right now. A lot of people are taking their stake out of Nikola Motors, and a lot of people don't really want anything to do with Nikola Motors right now. Like I said, you don't want a company, or you don't want to invest in a company that's always being surrounded by bad news. The company saying that, obviously coming out and saying that, hey, like, we're not fraudulating anything, we're not fabricating anything, like everything we're doing is legit and stuff like that. But you have to understand that within the last couple of days, like, Nikola has lost over 20% of its evaluation. That's never a good sign, and the overall share price has just continued to tank. You have to understand too that a lot of people are coming to Nikola's defense. I know GM made a statement defending Nikola that, they believe in their due diligence, they know what they're doing and stuff like that. So it's just an overall heated situation. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this actually plays out. A lot of people are saying Nikola Motors is not a fraud company. A lot of people are saying Nikola is not a fraud company. It is a fraud company. No one really knows at this point. Just based off speculation, no one can really actually put a fact out there. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal recommendation. I'm not making any recommendations on this overall video. I'm actually just giving a Nikola stock update. So it's basically tug of war. A lot of people are arguing that Nikola Motors is legit. It's doing its part as a company. A lot of people are saying it misled investors. It's not doing its part, and the company's over-exaggerated, and Trevor Milton is basically a guy who's just committing fraud. Obviously, No one knows anything. We have to wait for the actual probe to do its work and see if Nikola Motors is actually legit. But one thing we can say for certain, guys, the company in itself is over-evaluated in my personal opinion, just because it doesn't have a running factory, it doesn't have any cars on the road, it has never sold anything in its life, and it has a huge market cap for no absolute reason. Now, whether I would invest in Nikola Motors or not is not the actual point of the video itself, because everyone's always going to be entitled to their own opinion, but I'm giving an overall general basis of Nikola Motors in itself. The stock has just continually decreased. A lot of bad news surrounding its name, so I'm very curious to see if Nikola Motors does pull through this. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of this whole situation. Do you think Nikola Motors is going to pull through? Do you think Nikola Motors overall is a fraud company? I'm very curious to see what you guys are going to leave in the comment section. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.